Are we live?
Yes, you are.
Alright. Hello and welcome to another Hypixel Solo profile stream. I do not know why I have your AFK all over my screen. Hopefully that will go away eventually. But yeah, welcome back to what I began as a solo profile yesterday. Didn't really do anything after the stream, haven't really been on, so there's not much to talk about in the case of what was missing. Let's see, maybe... Ah, that fixes it. Hoping that the music will actually be playing for everyone, so it's not just me talking. Things are beginning to spawn on my island, don't like that. Don't like that at all. I am also joined today again by Emrys.
Hello.
For those of y'all who were here yesterday, welcome. The goal for today, don't really exactly have one except for possibly unlocking more of the collections, and actually right now looking to see if they're having left it going overnight, if there's any upgrading I can do to minions. But oh, that one needs a little bit more time. That needs a lot more time. Again, the point for upgrading the minions not only increases how fast they produce, how often they do a action, because there's both the action of, as you just saw, this one places a block. Well, they'll place a block for one action, and for the next action they'll break a block. So upgrading the minions lowers the time that it takes between actions to actually happen, and ends up increasing the amount of production you can have with the minions. I think I accidentally put something away that I didn't need to. Yes, I did. Go ahead and just help this minion by collecting what I need. Alright, that's a couple more upgrades, which is good. Let's see, what collections? So we don't have any event happening today, so there's no planning for that. We got access to the bazaar yesterday, which was nice, and as y'all have seen, we have the deep caverns. I think today's gonna be a let's try to get a decent set of armor and actually explore the deep caverns, maybe grind some mobs there. Hope to get the miner's outfit.
Is that the armor you want?
Yeah, it's a pretty decent diamond set. It's Prot 5, Growth 5, which means higher armor and also higher health due to the growth enchant.
Gotcha.
So,
Is that the best armor for beginning? Or is that
uh,
the best armor for
most
what you want?
people will go for like lapis armor first because it's pretty simple to get. All you have to do is grind the lapis minions, the lapis zombies on the lapis floor of the mines. But I think I'm just gonna settle for getting leaflet armor and then attempting to get the miner's outfit. As you saw, I talked to the... Oh, I don't have enough money for that. How much is it? 100? Okay, let's see. I might have enough in the bank to get that. As you saw, I talked to the blacksmith because he actually gives you a quest to go collect 10 coal, which we did. And now I'm gonna buy an undead sword, which, as you see, has 30 damage, but it also does 100% more damage if I'm fighting a skeleton, a zombie pigman, or a wither type mob. Which I think the only wither type mob that we will ever deal with until we get to dungeons is a wither skeleton in the Blazing Fortress. Well, we are not there yet. But the quest that he gives you is to go get 10 coal, and for the very first time that you try to reforge an item, he'll accept 10 coal instead of actually taking money. The the reforge we got was fast, so we actually got more attack speed, which isn't the worst thing we could have gotten. It's not what I wanted to get, not what I hoped I would end up getting, but that's not the worst that I could have gotten. Attack speed, as you would assume, allows you to attack faster. It means more of your clicks are actually registered as attacks rather than just wasted clicking. So it is pretty useful. Oh, that was loud. Also, at any point, if the music is too loud, hopefully y'all can actually hear it. If at any point it's too loud, or I'm too loud, or my guest is too loud, or too quiet, just let me know in the comments, and I will try to adjust accordingly. But in the meantime, we're heading back to the deep caverns. Just to see how well this new sword works. Because I have a feeling we're gonna actually have to get the armor, which isn't the worst thing in the world. It just takes a bunch of leaves, oak leaves to be specific. Let's see. Can I actually fight? Alright, so it's not the worst thing in the world to fight. I still die in one hit. Okay, so I can take a step back for a second. Hopefully from these two trees we get at least one sapling. Sometimes when you increase your collections, you'll unlock different, what are called trades, and what that means is, if you go into your menu, there's an emerald. If you click that, it's a list of things that you can actually trade in items for. So like every oak wood you can trade in for 2 coal if you wanted. We are going for oak leaves, which take 1 sapling per. Because we're actually going to be able to turn those leaves into armor. For example, you take the leaves, put it into the shape of a hat, and you actually get a helmet.
Well, it is. You do look like a leaf. You're
Hey,
gonna be covered in leaves.
it is a hat.
Is it?
I did not just shove a bunch of leaves on my head and call it a hat.
How would you even keep the leaves in place? That's tricky.
That I have no clue.
You gotta use some mud, maybe. I don't know. It's a long process.
I'm actually gonna take and craft some torches so that being on our island during the night isn't actually incredibly dangerous.
That's good.
Nope, I'm getting a little bit of lag. Hopefully it's not too bad on stream end.
From what I can tell, not too bad.
Eventually I do plan to fix this monstrosity of an island right here, but in the meantime it's gonna have to do. Oh, can't place it on those because they're half slabs. See how many saplings we get from this tree. I didn't think I had enough slots open to be able to place the minion, but had to try anyway. I actually think I might cut a few little corners and actually make regular iron armor. It's not the worst thing that we can make, and it actually, none of the pieces give me any more health, but they give me a boost to defense. Might help me survive. Haven't exactly tried before. But we will find out. Now's the moment of truth.
You're all leafed out.
No, I went ahead and made regular iron armor just for to see if the defense will help keep me alive a little bit. Things that I really have to worry about are the skeletons.
Yeah, they'll get pretty annoying, huh?
Yeah, because the range that they have on me actually makes it much more difficult than if I was just fighting the zombies. I'm pretty sure the zombies and the skeletons have the same drop rate for the armor. It's a rare drop for both of them, but it's still relatively common enough to make grinding for them pretty simple. There's also a small chance that while farming these mobs, we will find something called an XP share core. It's a very small chance to find, but if you do find it, it sells for quite a bit on the auction house.
Is that for like for your pets or?
Yes, the EXP share core combines with a bunch of gold in order to craft what is called an EXP share item, and when you put it onto a pet and then you have a different pet out, it works similar to how you would expect for like Pokemon XP shares where even if you don't have that certain pet out, it still gains experience and can level up based off of XP you collect outside with a different pet.
Oh, okay. That makes sense.
It's not too useful for us in our current situation, considering we only have the one pet, but a lot of other people find it pretty useful. Yep, I figured that was about to happen when I realized it was a runic skeleton. So runic enemies actually have a boosted health bar. They have a lot more health than the regular versions of the enemy. So it takes much more to kill them. And that
How can
actually...
you tell them apart?
The runic ones are purple, and it will say runic, zombie, runic, skeleton, whatever. Whatever that mob may be. And if you kill them, they drop runes that can be placed onto pretty much weapons, and some can be placed on armor. I think there's like a lava rune or something that can be placed on your boots that make red come out when you're running. I don't really know. I don't use runes. I've never bothered with the cosmetic stuff. Because that's all they are. They're pure cosmetics. They don't give any stat increases. To the best of my knowledge, they also do not take up any space for like enchants or anvil uses if you worry about that kind of thing. Oh hey, we unlocked skeleton minion.
Nice. Will you use those, or will you wait a little bit to get a skeleton?
For the most part, I don't really plan to use mob minions because they just take too long between their actions to make them worthwhile, unless you're gonna AFK for a while, or if you're not gonna be on for a decent amount of time each day. You can pretty much get away with, if you needed to, you could just farm them in the different areas that they're spawned. So like, obviously skeletons and zombies are found here, but you can also find skeletons just in the spider's den, or you can find zombies just in the village crypt, which is actually a good place for farming zombies, and it tends to be one of the places that people go to in order to do revenant slayers. Right now we're just waiting for our health to come back because we got hit and took a little bit of damage. I actually think we're gonna go ahead and go put telekinesis on this sword. I don't really plan to actually enchant the sword because we shouldn't be using it for too long. Just for a decent portion of the early game. So like, probably today's stream, tomorrow's stream, we'll be using it, and then we should be moving on to a different weapon.
Fancy. Isn't that pretty quick though? To like move on to
it depends. Like, I know some people who really go all out in order to get the fastest progression can usually get past any of these weapons that I plan to use within the first day of playing.
Gotcha.
But I have a specific weapon we're looking towards getting. It'll just take us a little bit to get there. Also, because we put telekinesis on the sword, from now on, anytime I kill an enemy, its drops will go directly into my inventory. I'm gonna check something real quick. You know what? We have 3,800. Let's see if I can... No, I cannot. Alright, well... Let's see anyway if I have any luck being able to purchase something.
At the bazaar?
Yeah. I luckily was able to actually purchase minor boots.
And all the different armor drops, they're the same, like, rarity chance, right? Or is, like...
I'm not exactly sure. I know later on, when you're fighting in the dungeons and everything, different parts of the armor have different percentage drops. Like, you can find the chest plate like 30% of the time if it's gonna drop or whatever. I don't exactly know if all the different pieces of this armor are this equal percentage. I never actually looked.
Maybe since it's like a beginning area, maybe it's not that big of a difference. At least I would hope.
The armor that we're actually getting right now doesn't increase our health, but just swapping out the two pieces that we did, which were the helmet and the boots, increased our defense by 20 more than it was before switching them out. And if you read them, each piece of the armor dramatically increases defense when you're inside of a mine, which means once we go back to the caverns, it'll actually give us more armor and more defense than we already have. Also, if you get the full set, once you're outside of combat, you actually regenerate 5% of your health every second. So we'll be able to actually survive for longer inside the dungeon. Right now I'm just trying to find all the stuff that I can that I don't mind selling.
And what kind of stuff is that? Just like random bits and bobs?
Pretty much just like minion production items.
Gotcha.
See if I can afford one more piece of this armor. If not, it's fine. We have half the armor set, so we'll have a better chance to actually survive while we're in there. I don't actually have enough. No, we'll go ahead and deposit what we have and come back later if we need it. A good thing for me to point out right now is, since we did replace 2 parts of our armor with the miner's set, you'll notice that we had, oh wow, 3 creepers all in one spot. We have 193 defense now, which will actually keep us alive decently longer than we were. You'll notice we probably won't die in 1 hit. It'll probably take 2 hits now. Which might sound funny. But, yes, it was 2 hits. But, even surviving 1 more hit than last time is a pretty good progress, in my opinion. Because as it is, we're already pushing our luck going against the bottom floor of this place instead of taking our time and going down from the top, collecting things as we went. Nice. We just leveled up our combat to level 5, which, as you'll notice, it says our damage increased, so we now deal 20% more damage to each mob. We also gained crit chance every time we level up.
Oh, you do? How much is it, or does it vary?
It's only 0.5 per level, but still, that increases and helps. But now we have actually gained access to the Blazing Fortress if we were to go to the Spider's Den, we could again go to the Blazing Fortress. We also unlocked the Wardrobe, which, if you don't know, the Wardrobe allows you to store different armor sets, which allows you to easily swap back and forth between each set depending on what situation you're in. If you have a farming gear, so if you have the angler set, but you also have the miner set for if you're going into a cavern, you could easily swap back and forth using the menu instead of having to take up space in your inventory for the whole set. Dang it, I really thought we had that one. But again, today's stream's probably gonna be just like attempting to collect armor, and we'll try to get better gear as we wait for minions to produce stuff so that they can be upgraded. That was a lot of mobs. Turned around and all of a sudden there was like 4 of them.
They all just wanted to say hi.
Very aggressively and with a sword to the face.
I mean, how else do you say hi to people, you know?
Also, as we're doing this, I know I'm dying a lot, but again, none of the money we're losing right now will make a huge difference in the end. We're definitely not gonna miss out on the couple hundred here or there. But another important thing that we are also gaining in this is our tiger pet is actually leveling up. So he's already reached level 12, which means he is giving us 6 in crit damage and 6 strength. And that's just having him exist, essentially. So just having him equipped gives us more damage, essentially. And because he is a combat pet, he's actually, as we gain combat XP, it gains equal combat XP to what we gain. Because if you try to, let's say you have a farming pet equipped while you're gaining combat experience, it's not going to gain the full value of that combat experience. It will only gain a portion of it. Gonna go and let that Lapis armor guy take care of all those. Also, if you don't know, I'll try to point it out when the next time I attack something. I keep talking about crit damage Like, so you saw this, if you see the gray number that appears, that's your regular damage, no crit. So I'm doing 108 just regular damage. But if I crit, I'm doing 170 damage. So that crit damage comes in very handy, especially when you're trying to fight multiple enemies at the same time. Nice, we collected enough rotten flesh to unlock the zombie minion upgrade. Or recipe. Oh man.
Is there a certain point where you will deposit what you have on you? If you think it's like too risky or something, or do you just, does it matter?
For the most part, right, I don't even know what just killed me. Apparently a skeleton killed me. For the most part, right now, I won't be carrying enough to matter, essentially.
Okay.
So, no, but later on, once you increase the emerald collection enough, you can actually access a thing from your menu around here that allows you to access the bank, so you can deposit from wherever you are. Granted, you then have to wait on a cooldown to be able to access it again, but for the most part, it's not going to really matter what little money we lose, as I continue to throw my body at every enemy, hoping for a different outcome.
Isn't that the definition of insanity?
Yeah. But, you know, eventually banging my head against this wall will break it, right?
I don't think that's how walls work.
Nah, you just gotta believe. Okay, that zombie.
I have a massive concussion.
I just got shot into lava by a skeleton.
That looked like fun.
Also, looking at my playback, as I spawned, I saw a person just staring at the sky. Yeah, it looks like he's having fun. And we actually managed to kill that one. Gonna go ahead and hike here with the rest of them. Let our health regen a little bit. Dang it. Might actually, we have 48 levels. I might actually try and go and just random enchant the sword, just to see if we might get a little bit increased damage from that. Usually you don't want to actually random enchant using a enchantment table, because you run the risk of getting bad enchantments, which are fire aspect or knockback.
Then why are you chancing it
now? We're really early on, and the sword only costs 100 coins, so if I had to replace it because I got a bad enchant, it wouldn't be the end of the world. I think I'm gonna go ahead and do it. Let's see what we get. Oh yeah, it's already enchanted because I put telekinesis on it. We're gonna go ahead and okay, we got sharp 1. We have sharp 2. No, take that back. That's sharp 2. That's sharp 3 right there. See if I can remember how to enchant a low anvil use book. Don't actually have the levels to do what I want. Oh well. Let's see if we can get a better reforge. Alright, we're back to the same reforge.
Well, good job. At least it didn't get worse.
Yeah, I mean, you're not wrong. Never a good sound we want to hear. An arrow that missed me.
Well, it's better than an arrow that hits you into lava.
Yeah, that is true. It is better than an arrow that hits you, but it means that something was aiming at me. Just missed. It looks like I'm being followed.
That's it.
Now that's a person I don't understand why he's down here. Running around with over 1,000 health.
Maybe he could be making some money, potentially, or...
Yeah, it's possible. are not really finding any armor pieces. Granted, I know it is rare to find, but would have thought I found something by now. See if we can kill this skeleton before it kills us. Ah, we did.
Nice.
I'm definitely gonna die in the next hit, though. So... just don't get hit, right?
Exactly.
Alright, I jumped right into that zombie's sword. Doesn't feel like it, but we just almost about hit the hour mark. That person just did 11,000 damage to a skeleton. He does not need to be down here. Ow. That zombie killed me. hoping that eventually I can get the whole set of this armor. So once we do, I'm gonna work on getting the actual weapon that I want. Hey, we have a chest plate. Ow. All we need now is the leggings. Even with just 3 pieces of the armor, we already have 278 defense, which is a lot more than we started with. Well, that's a lot of mob. Oh, there was apparently one behind me. worst enemy here is still the skeleton shooting us.
You could just tell him to stop.
They're legally not allowed to shoot you if you say no.
Exactly. Oh god. Just like, no, you cannot shoot me. It's illegal.
Dang it. You know, eventually the game will give me a piece of armor, right?
You would think so, but so far.
I mean, I've only gotten one of the pieces, so I only need one more.
But will it give you the right one is the question.
That is a very good question. If it does end up giving me a piece of armor, it's a 3 of 4 chance it's not going to be the piece I want. Ow. Man, I was shot from behind. We almost do 200 damage on a crit. Oh my god. Are you serious? Well, it's not a piece of armor.
But it's something.
But, it's rare that a piece of armor. I just got the XP share core.
Well, alrighty. So at least you can make money off of it. That's good.
Yeah, the lowest buy it now price is 50. Oh, it's gone down. Alright. Oh man, I don't have enough coins yet. I need my the bones to sell. Oh, they just sold.
Nice. We love timing. It's great.
Alright, well, I put it for less than the average price, so we'll see if it sells. I guess while I'm here, I'll try to continue enchanting. I don't have the levels, so I'm gonna go for Reforge. We actually ended up getting the Reforge I wanted. The Reforge I wanted gives me 10% chance to crit, a 20% crit damage increase. Which means when I'm holding it, I'll have a 46% chance to crit and an 82% damage increase, which will actually should be quite noticeable. Because before that enchant, or the Reforge, we were doing just under 200 damage on a crit. We'll see how much we're doing now in a minute once I get back to the caverns. I actually cannot believe we got the EXP share core instead of a piece of armor. Alright, let's see just how much more damage that do. 218 on a crit. It's a pretty decent increase. We very nearly died there. Just gonna sit here for a second, let our health regen before going back to fighting. We got the leggings!
Hey! That's good. Now you're all decked out.
Yeah, we have the whole armor set, which means just without being in the mines, we have 88 defense. But inside the mines, we should have around 300. So since we have every piece of the armor, we should... Oh wait, we have 343 defense. So more than I thought I would have. But now that we have every piece of the armor set that we can get here, if we manage to get more pieces of it, we can sell that straight to an NPC and get like a couple thousand coins each. thanks to having the whole set of armor, we now, as long as we maintain a decent amount of combat versus not in combat time, we shouldn't die as often. But as you saw, if I get comboed by a zombie, I easily can still die. Hey, we got a helmet. And we died. But that helmet's a decent chunk of money yet, to be honest. Especially for the early game, like right now. I've actually been excited to do this whole stream thing with starting brand new on a profile and actually documenting my progression through, because I've thoroughly enjoyed the different profiles I've made on Hypixel each time I've made a new one, but I always take a different route each time I do it. Like, this one I'm focusing more right here in the deep caverns early game, just trying to get different armor and make money here as relatively quickly as I can. But my last playthrough, or not really playthrough, my last profile that I made, I actually spent about 2 weeks of the first little bit of playing simply fishing. So it's very interesting and fun to me, just trying out different paths, trying to just keep things fresh for me, and hopefully keep things a little bit fresh for all of y'all who may end up watching. And if I can show any little bit of information that y'all people might not know, that's a win-win, you know? Again, most of my streams will be regular Tuesday, Thursday, Fridays. I just really wanted to get a little stream in today. I don't really know how long it'll be for today, but my Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Fridays I will try to keep around 6 hours minimum. Usually starting around 11 a.m. Eastern time, if I can help it. If not, it'll be around 3 p.m. Eastern time, going until late. If I happen to do streams on a Monday or Wednesday, if I manage to have time, it might be a short, like 2 to 3 hour just filler on Hypixel, trying to get in a little bit of progression here and there. Or I may end up doing just small games of Smite with friends. Or I might do dungeon runs with people in my guild on my other profile, and like let people see more than just the early game. Now, granted, a lot of that will depend on if I can get my friends from my guild on at that time. If they aren't on, then it may be just simple, small progressions here and there. Such as doing minions some days, or I have a plan for the fairy souls, but may not end up doing every fairy soul all at the same time. Might split it up into different sections on a Monday, Wednesday. Just to not bore you, because I'm sure most of y'all have seen it many times, as every YouTuber has to go through it eventually, and you as a player have gone through it probably many times as you've created new profiles over and over. So just want to try to keep things a little bit fresh. Now, again, Saturday and Sunday will probably end up being games of Smite or something from my Steam list. I have plans to try to do playthroughs of specifically Prey. I thoroughly enjoy that game. But I also have many other games that I definitely could do a playthrough on, see how it does with everyone. I also might end up grouping up with one of my YouTuber friends who streams on YouTube and or Twitch, depending on what game he's playing, but might join up with him and play some Dark Souls, so y'all get to watch me struggle through the pain that is being in the Dark Souls. As I also get time, I will be trying to edit down these streams into actual episodes so that you can split it up as you want and watch a little bit here and there if you want to, or I will also, I hope, leave up the actual full streams to be able to be watched by the public if you just want to have like background, whatever, or want to be able to watch every thing that I do that I don't cut out. So it'll end up being multiple ways to watch and enjoy what's going on. And if y'all have any recommendations on games, again, please don't hesitate to recommend any. If I think that I personally will enjoy the game, I will probably give it a chance on a Saturday or Sunday stream. Gonna get a couple more levels and see if I can enchant the sword. At least get sharpness on it. Oxenfree? I don't exactly know if I've heard of that game before, but I'll definitely give it a look at. See if maybe I can do something with that. Something has happened to my visual though here. Things are definitely, well, I have set to bright, so I don't really know why it's incredibly dark down there. So, horror game of sorts? Yeah, I'll definitely look at it and see if maybe I can do something with that. Getting swarmed. might actually have enough levels to do what I need to do. Let's find out. Alright, so we had actually got sharp 5 on our sword, which means we should have, when we crit, we might do enough to kill zombies and the skeletons in the bottom of the crypt, but don't exactly want to go back there quite yet. Gonna get a little bit of a visual break from being inside the caves that entire time. I'm actually gonna deposit the money that we have and see how our minions are doing. Some of them are probably inventories full. Yeah, that's what I figured. How are you two doing? Alright, we actually managed to have enough rotten flesh and bones on us to craft 2 more minions. We need 7 more uniques in order to get another minion unlocked to go right there. Probably a diamond minion. We'll see. Right now, let's go check to see. No, we can't. Alright. What do we want to do now? I guess actually I can go ahead and show y'all some of the talismans that I've been talking about that increase your stats or help you in certain situations. If you actually come talk to this NPC called the Adventurer, they sell a bunch of different like mob things such as like rotten flesh, bone, string, whatever. But they also sell these talismans. So we're gonna... These two are very expensive for right now. That's mildly expensive. But what's not expensive is the zombie talisman and the skeleton talisman. Both of which are very useful in the early game because they both reduce the damage taken by their respective mob by 5%. So we got a zombie talisman and a skeleton talisman. That means once we're inside the deep caverns, we're going against mostly zombies, mostly skeletons. We're actually going to end up taking less damage from them. And I'll go ahead and get the Mine Affinity Talisman because while we're inside of any of the mines, we actually gain increased movement speed, which will also help us down in the deep caverns. We have a little bit of money left over so that we can go for some reforges here. I guess demonic's not the worst that we could have gotten. Godly's also not the worst. What we're going for is forceful. And if we get forceful, I will explain why. Oh, there we go. So forceful, just right off the bat. Okay. Gives 4 increased strength, which means we actually gain 4 strength overall. That, combined with the crit chance and the crit damage we have, we will actually end up doing more damage. So let's go test it out, actually. So without a crit, we're doing 158 damage right now after getting those talismans and reforging them. So let's see what happens when we crit. Though first off, we actually have to manage to get a crit. So we're doing 294 on a crit, which means we are almost one-shotting the skeletons and the zombies that are down here, and that's simply based on getting just 3 talismans and upgrading them. Also counting the fact that when we also went back to spawn, we added sharp 5 to our sword. But all of that together actually has led to us getting a massive damage spike. Now, if we were to be fighting like something such as a spider right now, we wouldn't quite be doing as much damage. That's mostly due to the fact that we actually do double damage to undead type monsters because of the type of sword it is. But that's okay, because it shouldn't be too many more streams before we're able to get the weapon that we'll be using until mid-game. Yeah, here's an example of a rune. One of the zombies we killed was a runic zombie. This one's a blood rune, which means you put it onto a weapon, and when you kill a mob with it, it actually creates a shower of blood effect around the mob. I don't actually plan to ever use it, so there it goes into the lava. You can't actually sell them, so holding on to them doesn't really do me any good. But if you get one and you manage to find somebody that's willing to buy it off of you, technically that is a way to do it. But alright, we're just under the 2-hour mark. I think that's where I'm gonna leave off for today. Mostly due to the fact that I am personally getting tired. But tomorrow I should be back with a longer, more normal stream. And we'll definitely be progressing. Probably doing minions and minion slots tomorrow, and hopefully unlocking access to more better weapon. But in the meantime, thank you for watching and see you in the next stream. Bye bye.